welcome to the Block 9 Podcast Live Lounge. Oh, evening, everybody. Oh, it feels like an absolutely crazy week. So, Monday we had the transfer window close on us, and yes, we managed to scrape through with a couple of loan signings, which is better than a kick in the bollocks. And then the Virtue, as Gavin keeps correcting me, the Virtue Cup game against Cheltenham on Tuesday night. I was there with Gavin, and yeah, from what we could see in the Mayflower, I wasn't overly impressed, but we'll come on to that in a minute. And of course, we've also got the players, Owen Dale and Lorne McCabe, to discuss with you tonight as well and give a bit of a profile of them. And obviously the Stockport County game preview. So, yeah, hope everybody's doing well out there. Thank you for joining us tonight. And please, where you can, obviously you can on YouTube, but on X, if you can, reshare the live. That will be appreciated as always. So, in the house tonight, we have Gavin. Evening, Gavin.
Evening all.
Carl, how are we doing?
Yeah, good, thank you, mate.
And Andy, yourself?
Yeah, all good, thanks.
And Herbie's been given permission to stay up late tonight by his parents. How are we doing, Herbie?
Yeah, I'm all good, mate.
So yeah, look, and I'm rocking some new merch now. I can't see Stephen Cooper in the house yet, so but when he does come in, I do have his polos ready for him. But I've done this hoodie, and actually, I think it looks rather nice. Gavin saw it on Tuesday night, as did anybody else that was at the game on our side that saw me wearing it. So I will look to pick this one up, probably retail for about £20, but it is actually really nice. So a little bit of a plug there. So busy week. I'm feeling quite tired. Gavin's the same. I don't know about the other guys while we were just prepping before we went on, but I'm going to go straight to just Gavin just to generally see how you're feeling this week, Gav, before we dive into the details.
I'm all right. I'm happy. It's all good.
You're £1,000 lighter, though.
Yeah. I thought it's not really good is going to a football match on Saturday full of optimism, joys. Meet up with you, Carl. Very nice. Thank you very much. Met with your friends. Lovely. Go to the game. Have your pants pulled down. Have your arse spanked.
That wasn't me.
Oh, okay.
Something you're not saying, Carl.
In that case, then I want a refund from you. Anyway, that's by the by. And then it pisses with rain. You can't get a cab. So I will walk back. So I walk back 2 miles to the hotel in the pissing rain. Get in the door, and it looks like that scene out of Pretty Woman, where there's just bags everywhere. And you go, oh, and this was the best of it. She wasn't even there. She dumped and loaded and gone again. So, yeah.
Well, she just thought she'd make you feel more pain.
If you was watching, thank you, darling, for a lovely weekend.
But you did have some fabulous food, though, yes?
Yeah, I went to Gaucho Saturday night. A really nice wined, dined. Obviously, at my age, the third one didn't come, but we won't go there. And he's shaking his head vehemently. And then, we went for dinner Sunday night as well and come home Monday about lunchtime. So it's a good weekend, apart from the football.
Yeah, no, cool. Just a quick shout out before I go to Carl, but I'll drag him on screen for you now. GT, good evening, has just dropped in. Nick Tomlinson, PAFC Displays, good evening, saying, I don't think you can read too much into the Cheltenham game. Both sides made a lot of changes. Saturday will be the real test. We will come on to that. Did bump into Nick and say hello on Tuesday night as well, which is good. Graham Byrne, good evening, Graham. The words are back to front. I'm not sure. Oh, on
Bloody t-shirts. I got the right one now.
Oh dear God, that's how tired I'm at. I was reading that thinking, what's he on about? Yeah, Steve's in the chats as well tonight. Evening, guys, sitting comfy at work. Carl's been posting on the channel, and Andy we have in as well, who was rocking his Block 9 mug as he posted on Tuesday. He really doesn't want yours, Andy. And evening to you, Andy, and Ollie as well, who's joined us at the start. So, yeah, Carl, how has your week been? How you've we'll go into it in a bit more detail, but how you're sort of feeling with that transfer window and how you're feeling towards Saturday.
Overall, obviously it's probably not what we all expected. I think getting Owen Dale in dramatically improves our experience ratio, which obviously Tom cleverly said. I was hoping that was going to kind of go into the midfield as well. But I think we can all agree that it sounds like we've got a decent player on our hands with Law anyway, which might trump the experience card. But I think we've had a decent amount of time on the training field since Cardiff, and obviously going into next week, we've got a free week as well, no Tuesday game. So hopefully things will start to gel. We've got players coming back, and hopefully we'll put some points on the board soon and get a nice little run together.
Yeah, no, cool. And let me drag Andy into frame. Also rocking his Block 9 tee there.
Mine's the right way round.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. Go on, Andy. How's your week been since Saturday?
I'm okay with the window, really. It's not been a bad window at all for us. It could have been worse. Could have had no players in, but we've got 2 players in with some experience. One is training with England at the moment, the senior squad, which is brilliant. A youngster from Middlesbrough. We don't know what he's going to play like. We've not seen him play, but certainly the other signing is going to be good. And if Gav's right with his other signing, then that'd be even better. But hush, hush. Okay, good.
Gavin reacted just now. I was like, what do you react to? Wife watching, said wine dined and not the found you cheeky. See you next Tuesday. Yeah, good to see you watching in, Sean. So evening to you tonight.
Is that a sofa behind you, Gav, that you'll be sleeping on tonight?
It's one of 3 in the house, mate. I'll be on one of them. Don't worry, it's all good.
It'll be the garden, probably.
We're on the same level at the minute, so I'll have to go downstairs. So no, I'll be on one of them. Don't worry.
Is that a rolling pin behind your head as well?
We got Herbie with no players or anybody on his dartboard behind that he's getting angry with. So Herbie, how it's been a few sessions since you've been on. You did go to Cardiff, I think. Did you?
No, I didn't go. I was
lucky.
Oh yes, you were. How was that, by the way?
That was a lot better than the football I watched in the morning. So
I must admit that's quite. Those concerts have looked pretty good. So you didn't get caught out on the profile cam or whatever it's called.
No, thank God for that.
So how are you feeling then? Obviously Saturday, frustrating. Obviously everybody sort of left their views in the chat that weren't on the show. But how are you sort of feeling now? Your brief view on the window and coming into Saturday's game.
Yeah, well, I think like all of us said in the chat, I think me and Carl sort of had the same sort of idea. The main sort of like feeling was a bit deflating, really, and frustrating as well. Just like what we've been promised to like what we've been given I think is a bit of a step down. But this isn't to say that Owen Dale won't be unbelievable. It won't be to say that McKay, whatever he is will be unbelievable as well. But just from what we've been promised, we felt like we needed probably an experienced midfielder, not a 19-year-old. We probably maybe needed another striker. We probably needed maybe a better someone on the left. I don't know, but it felt like we needed a lot more, and we sort of underperformed. I think definitely on deadline day. So that was a bit deflating. But yeah, overall, it's not been, as Andy said, it's not the worst transfer window, but I don't think it's been a great.
No, I wouldn't sort of disagree with that, really. I think it is difficult. I've said before, these windows, it's easy to criticise and you're not there, sort of working with the cards that you've been dealt with, and equally the challenges that you're facing working with the other clubs and obviously agents. The one thing, though, that I thought was telling, and I'll come on to more of the press conference a little bit later, but is the fact that Cleverley feels that whole process needs, let me just bring myself back into view, that whole process needs to be looked at and reviewed, and he wants to start that as early as next week, which, considering the focus on getting the squad into shape with these new lads coming in and all that sort of stuff, it's quite interesting that he feels he wants to give that some attention next week, which you can read it as you will, but that says to me that he's not happy with the performance of it, and it's also not to say that equally David, Tom, if he exists, hello Tom if you do, and Andy and Simon, etc., equally maybe not happy with it. So it's all about, I think, the right time now to put things into place. We know that also cleverly said to Warnock that he agrees in that Sky Sports interview that he feels there should be a balance of going in and looking at players as well as seeing the data. So I think we might see an element of some adjustments there in getting some scouts out or some people in to get out there and watch some players ready for Jan. So a few more in the comments before we go to our usual slide deck. So evening everybody, thank you for joining us again on this Thursday night. We got Mike Blackmore in. Good to see you in, Mike. Hopefully we grab a few free agents with experience to add squad depth. Yeah, we've sort of alluded to potentially rumours of players, but the tricky thing with free agents is they're free agents for a reason. But if you can find the odd nugget, then hopefully we can. Marcus, the guy Gavin mentioned, can't play as a striker. Good to see you in, Marcus, and he's been winding Steve up as well, watching while he's working.
Yeah,
so without further ado, let me switch to the slide deck. So we're going to run you, and I don't know if you can see the numbers, but there's 28 slides. But some of these are just simple flash in the pans to just give you some insights. But it's what we do on the Block 9 podcast for those of you that are joining us for the first time. And like I said, if you can, please retweet the live on your own accounts. And also, if you're not following us already on your platform, please go and do that. And equally on YouTube, please subscribe. Because as we get up there, we're growing with that number, but as we get up there and grow even more, also we can start getting some ad revenue contributions, and it help pay for some of the services, which is always good. So little plug there for the show. Right, let's go straight into it. So I always do a bit on the Argyle News, which I pull from the Argyle PAFC News Hub, which Finley runs. We will get Finley on here at some point as well to join us. But effectively, first and foremost, it's Simon Hallett's birthday today. So we have got a little slide. There you go. Look, so happy birthday to the club chairman and owner. So, yeah, that's all from everybody, and I'm sure you guys watching as well. Obviously, we had the loan deals come through on transfer deadline day of Owen Dale and Lorne McCabe, and we'll go into a bit of a profile on them next. And also that Cheltenham Virtue Cup game where we secured victory in our little first group match there. It wasn't the prettiest, but job done, I suppose. And of course, after that game, and with Bim Peppel's penalty miss, the club then put out a statement regarding the racist abuse that he's received. Obviously, we had the situation with Waidu early in the season as well. We obviously don't condone it. It's awful stuff. The club are right to sort of take the stance and the approach that they can on it to report it. We know, and obviously it's been discussed on the social platforms at length, that the people that have done it, or the ones that Bim Peppel expose, are not really associated with Argo anyway. Regardless of it, it's not right to be in this game in this day and age, but unfortunately you have got people out there that have got nothing better to do. So that was yesterday. Izaka, obviously on Monday as well, was announced as going out on loan. We discussed at length a few times what players were going to come in and go out on loan. Well, now obviously we've seen what we've got in the window. It's no surprise then that we haven't let out Hatch, or we haven't let out Caleb Roberts.
We still can.
Well, fine, okay, but they haven't. No one's obviously come in for them, and we're not prepared to let them go yet. So, and the Warnock and Cleverley interview. Just to touch up on that, if you haven't watched it, go check it out. We had Pilgrim PT in here on Saturday night, who was giving us some snippets from it when the preview was released. But there was a bit of Warnock reminiscing about his time at Argyle and how he did go off when he was signing players and meet them up on the hoe and didn't want to bring them to the ground because it was dilapidated in many different areas back then in those days, for those that can remember. Certainly Andy's old enough. Sorry, Andy. So yeah, it was pretty good, and obviously they had a bit of a chinwag. You know, they did discuss, as I alluded to, about this whole data driven and all that sort of stuff, and actually how they both agree that you've still got to get your eyes on players and not just trust the data. Cleverly pointed out the great sort of passion that the chairman wants, to sort of set the club up for the youth side and all that sort of stuff. So, yeah, no, it was really good. And the important thing as well, they both said, and even cleverly alluded to it at his United days, is having strong, experienced leaders in the squad. And I think we can all agree we needed that more badly than ever. And so it's great to see Edwards come back and do a good 60 minutes on Tuesday night, and looked solid at that too. So the next slide, hang on, let me skip that one because we've done that. So we're going to these player profiles. I'll just read a couple of the comments before I go to the guys. Marcus saying TC is impressed with Hatch. Sarah Palmer, evening Sarah, thinking loaning Freddie out will do him good. He's been needing it for a couple of seasons. I think we'll probably all agree on that. And Dave Mortimer, we've got in with us again tonight. Evening, Dave. So Dave's also saying if we lose Saturday, I can see... Hang on, let me find it. Where's it gone? If we lose Saturday, I can see Keith tweeting Simon Hallett directly, hoping for a response. Well... There we go. It's crazy, isn't it? So I'm going to go to you, actually, Carl, first off. So Owen Dale joins us. You touched upon it in your little intro just earlier on. But yeah, versatile player, 26 years old, comes to us on loan from, it says Blackpool, but it's not, it's Oxford. Having previously been there, but he's from Oxford to us. He is exciting, isn't he, this one? And some experience there at a high level.
Yeah, most importantly, he's got League One experience, which is what we need. He obviously got promotion with Oxford a couple of years ago. Offers that kind of threat on the wing, which we haven't really had so far this season, because I think Amici has been poor from what I've seen. I think he was great in pre-season, but he just seems to want to do it all himself and kind of lacks that final cross into the box and kind of cuts back. Looking at Dale's highlights, he likes to try and beat the man and get the cross in as soon as he can, which should benefit Tolai. So I'm looking forward to hopefully seeing him start on Saturday, and just to give us a bit more width and just get some balls in the box really, and hopefully we can get on the end of some of them.
Yeah, Herbie, it sort of watching the game on Tuesday. Did you go Tuesday night? Yeah, so it was quite clear that we were missing the sort of that Caleb Watts player as well, that number 10 trying to support Tolai. He was ending up coming back himself when he dropped him back, and sort of quite heavy footed, but getting in and trying to get the ball and flick it on to no one around him really. So it's clear that he's not that sort of player really, is it? And we need, and hopefully someone like Dale can come in, as Carl said, and provide those quality sort of balls that Tolai needs.
Yeah, and also noticed that Soren Ola was our main sort of width against Cheltenham. So, we need someone that's definitely a winger, more of a winger, and can solely play out wide. I remember Owen Dale as well, because he got promoted with Oxford in the playoffs. And what I remember is he's a chaser of the ball. Like, he will chase down the ball. With the ball, he's good with the ball at his feet as well, but mainly like when we're pressing, and Tolai likes to press as well. I think cleverly probably might turn us into pressing, having Tolai and Dale pressing for the ball, getting the ball further up the pitch, and that's how we create our attacks instead of trying to play it from the back, because it doesn't look like we're good enough to do that just yet.
Yeah, no, it's I think sort of I was quite sort of, as Gavin knows, and I put on our account, I wasn't overly impressed with Tuesday night, but when you look at what Dale can bring, when you look at Patterson coming back, if Benarouz links up again with Patterson, that was great against QPR. Obviously Edwards coming back in, Mackenzie's not far off. There is those positives to look forward to, Gavin, isn't there? So I think Dale is just gonna add to that, isn't he?
Yeah, I wasn't quite as
no, you won't.
Down in the dumps as you on Tuesday. I have to say, I reckon you probably got out of bed the wrong side.
First time for everything.
We should have run probably 1-5-0, maybe 5-1 if we're being kind. One reasonable save, one reasonable last-ditch tackle. I thought Asani was lively in the 10. I thought, contrary to some online belief, I actually thought Pepper was really good. His back to goal, I thought he showed a bit of good runs off the shoulder. His link play was decent. He just couldn't score with a bankrupt Lady of Ill Repute that night, and that's what everyone remembers. But I thought his link play was very, very good. I thought Baker, when he came on, was not Baker.
Baker?
No. Midfield. Sorry, I've had a very long day. Midfield. Help me out, you guys.
I can't think either.
I didn't go. So.
Callum. No.
Oh, Caleb Roberts.
Caleb
Sorry.
Roberts. Right,
Yeah.
where did that come from? But I thought Roberts was brilliant when he came on. Thought he looked. I was frustrated because Ibrahim does a lot of good work, but he also gives the ball away a ton in and around their penalty area with careless passes. And I know it's been mentioned by Tom, so it's brought my attention to it, but he did it a load more times. So Roberts, I thought, was a vastly improved midfield pick. So I know I had a good game. I thought Wiredu at the back with Ross was really solid. That's forming some competition now with obviously Mitchell, who didn't play the game. So that was good. And I thought Edwards slowly got himself into the game as well. His legs are beginning to defrost, I suppose, from being out for such a long time. So I was quite happy, actually, to be honest, with our performance. We just didn't score. We did everything else but.
What were your thoughts on Ross, Gav?
I thought for someone who probably played at about 30% of his capability, when we were up in the gods, which we were, and there was no one there, I said to Mike about 20 minutes in, it feels like in the old days with a reserve game, you can hear every word on the pitch.
Yeah,
he's an exceptional communicator, really good at leading the back line, sort of Paulson-esque at his best. Good in the air. Made a massive excuse my French, in the second half late and got the pace to get back and put in a really good sliding tackle to stop a very good sort of goal chance, which I think he admitted to in the presser afterwards. So bear in mind that's him, haven't kicked really a ball since November. You get him for 2-3 months up to speed. I think he's going to be very, very capable. Good passer of the ball, very calm on his feet, tactically and positionally very aware. And I think whoever plays two of those three now in that set of defence, it will become much better.
Yeah, no, cool. Just before actually I skip to that one, it's not on this slide either. Tom Cleverley's thoughts on, I know we sort of went a bit sidetracked there of Owen Dale, but Tom Cleverley, Owen is technically a very good player who complements, I should say, Argyle's playing style. His ability to retain possession, provide width and contribute to transitions will be invaluable for us. I'll give my thoughts a little bit in a second after we go through Lorne McCabe on the game and why I wasn't overly impressed. I'll elaborate a bit more. But Andy, Lorne McCabe joining Owen Dale as well on Monday. Young lad, but coming in with some very, very good, sort of reactions and credit as well. And of course, it's on a next slide or one after. He was called up to train with the England senior squad this week.
Yeah, I've seen the comments on X for the rusty bed springs and all that sort of stuff. So why are we signing a 19-year-old? Well, this 19-year-old's got a little bit of calibre about him. You know, he's been training with the England seniors, and he's representing England under 18s, so it can't be that bad. Give the guy a chance. Like, you've got to give everyone a chance in the team, haven't you?
Yeah, you have. Yeah, I mean, sort of, he's come obviously from Middlesbrough. He's developed through Middlesbrough's academy from under 9s, made his professional debut in 2023 against Preston. Long-term commitment, signed with Middlesbrough until 2027, demonstrating the club's confidence in his future, and has represented England under 18s level as well, earning 4 caps for that. So I know, Carl, you said in the chat, don't forget Darko JB used to or was playing for England under 21s as well. But to spoil our fun and try and put a dampener on it. But but yeah, look, until he comes on, and also the other side to this is that sort of player could really rely on the quality that he's also paired up with. And you can't expect a 19-year-old or a player that's got really good quality just to come in and transform a team. But he's got to fit in and hope that, they can play to his strengths and support him as well as he can support them.
Yeah, definitely. And listening to how cleverly he spoke about him in the press conference, like his eyes just lit up when he mentioned him. So yeah, it sounds like they've got high hopes for him when he comes in next week.
I think the telling point for me, Mike, sorry,
go on, carry on, Gav.
Was him saying about, he was challenged by, I think, Chris Harrington actually in the press conference around why did you sign a 19-year-old when you told us all last week you were going to try and sign an experienced midfielder. Obviously, he went into the Dale piece, which I think is good business. But he also then said, then you've got a choice between ability and experience. And I've gone ability. So I'm not being funny. I'd quite happily let him rip up the league from 6 and get forward and get some goals and be astute on the ball. He's clearly played at a lot higher level. He's very thought very well of. If he's as good as I think he is, him and Boateng will be a very good midfield despite their age.
Yeah, no, like Carl, as he says, Cleverly went an exceptional young talent who is highly thought of by everyone at Middlesbrough. He is technically very good, excellent on the ball, and will complement our style of play. We are looking to implement perfectly. I know Graham has also said, Carl, that he can't. Can he play Saturday? I don't believe so, is it? He's still away training.
No, he's still away.
No, he plays Friday night. He's going to come to Plymouth Monday, according to the press conference.
I'm going to change your name, Gav, to Carl, and Carl, I'm going to call you Gav.
I didn't hear the Carl bit. I just had a general question.
That's all right. Yeah, go on, Carl. Sorry, go on.
Point.
I've lost where I was now. Yeah, obviously he can't play Saturday because he's away with England. He'll be in next week. And like I said, we've got no Tuesday game, so we've got a whole week on the training pitch with him and the whole squad, which is going to be massive. I reckon he'll probably slot straight in the side from what Tom Cleverley has said about him. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to seeing him play, and being selected to even train at England at that age is a massive bonus. And clearly it was the Argyle massive that have done it, because he's joined us and then got called up by England seniors. So there you go.
Yeah, and it's also another side to it where we get the recruitment team get ridiculed a little bit, but this is not the sort of player that he's a sort of player that you'd expect, to put my teeth back in, that other clubs would have surely been interested in. So the fact that Tom or whoever has managed to get his services down here. I think it was more
Tom, because he said he was tracking him for quite some time. So I think he made his debut for Middlesbrough against Watford last season. So I think he's had him in the back of his mind. So I reckon that's a Tom signing, I reckon.
So then that's a fair point. And I think Herbie, he's just a little bit older than you. But it's one of those. Imagine in your head, you playing and getting a call up for not just an England under 19s, but actually to get called up to train with a senior squad.
Yeah, it's a massive bonus to have someone like that in your squad. But I do think it was a bit frustrating. That we were expecting an experienced midfielder and we'd gone and got a 19-year-old. So I could understand the frustration. I was certainly frustrated as well. But if he's got ability better than anyone else, then I'm happy to have him. The only problem is we've got to be patient. I think in the first 5 games, if he starts all of them and he's not this world beater straight away, we can't get on his back and go, let's play Ibrahim, or let's play Wayadu. Especially Cleverley needs to do that with him as well. He needs to sort of promise him game time, because the more games he plays, the more guaranteed minutes he's going to get, the more confident he is, the more comfortable he is, and that's probably the best he's going to play.
I think that's why I was saying it sort of equally just now. It's going to also be key in terms of, can we get a result against Stockport? Can we change the fortunes? Can we try and lift the mood, the spirits? And, so when he does come into play, the same with Owen Dale, they need to come into a squad where, there is that confidence. So people are more confident on the ball, more controlled. That's where I felt a little bit, on Tuesday night, it was just scrappy and balls were getting lost. Ibrahim had probably the worst game I've seen him play. Aseni just, in the nicest way, just was ineffective, was losing the ball in the middle of the park unnecessarily, missing chances when, to sort of play the right ball when we broke away. There just felt like a lack of, again, confidence or ability to find players, and we would break forward, and then Sorano, like you said, was the most used wide man. Then he would have to wait because we didn't cross the ball in straight away or early enough, and then they rushed back quite quick. And to be fair, this wasn't, it was a young team for Cheltenham. So it wasn't a disaster. We won, and I don't normally moan, as most of you are watching in, and even Alex, who's joined us as well tonight. I tend to try and stay positive and look on that side. And, when I got home, I was a bit fired up. But then, yesterday morning, I just thought, well, there is those players that are coming back from fitness that we've got to look forward to on Saturday, and that's a positive angle I'm looking at. But you'd think a young, I mean, the keeper. I was speaking to Nick Tomlinson at half time. They couldn't find a goalkeeper on FotMob or Wiki or anything because he was that young.
He looked quite decent from what I saw in the highlights.
He was okay. He was nervous, actually, in the first half, Carl. And I think that first goal went through his hands, or lettuce hands, as you would coin, with Grimshaw. But no, he was unlucky with the second because it took a wicked deflection, great strike, and an ability for Talai to get in for that shot. But yeah, he saved a penalty, which was fine for him. But they had no threat really, and a little bit in the second half where Argyle tried to press a bit more and got caught out. But we move on from it. So it's definitely key that when he comes into the squad, I think with the likes of Pato back, Ben Arous fully, as well back in there, Mackenzie even at some point, Owen Dale in there, and a few others maybe finding form, we could really have an interesting midfield to support the front. So evening Ben, who's joined us as well tonight. Right, so next slide. While
you're doing that, can I just pop your bubble a minute?
Go on.
So you said Owen Aseni give the ball away loads, blah, 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 didn't have a good game. I, on the contrary, thought he had a very good game. Just pulled up his stats. 88% pass completion rate, 4 effective dribbles, created 1 big chance, and did 2 key passes in the final third. That's not bad for someone who had a bad game.
Yeah, I can't argue. Well, we can argue with those FotMob stats because sometimes we know that they don't make sense. But I will take that and say, I just didn't think he really. I mean, Herbie, you were there at the game, so I mean, how did you see his performance?
I think it was crap. To be fair, as well, I'm the same. But you said how many passes did he make? You said it's 88% completion. How many passes is that? If that's 3
passes.
No, it's right to read the stats out. It just goes to show how, because if we all saw the game the same, then it would be a boring pod.
Yeah, and also how long are these passes? 2-yard
35 out of 40 passes.
Yeah,
35 out of 40. Oh, that's not too bad. But then again, I expect that from most players, though. I expect them to be 35 out of 40.
In the 10, which is out of his position, I thought he held the ball really, really well. So I think there's just a lot of saying he's shit because he hasn't been in the first team rhetoric. Lazy, in my opinion. Watch the game properly.
Yeah,
back at the
I don't think he is crap, but I thought Cheltenham was far.
Yeah, that's and I've not been I've held back on Pepple as well. I think that the whole thing with Aseni is he was one that I thought could really bring something as well, and he started off okay and then got left out, obviously picked up a knock or something that was going on, so I was gutted. It was just I wasn't in the, probably I was just tired overall as I am tonight as well with these long weeks, but it was one of those where for me I was hoping to see more from him again, but not just from him, and that type of game really, like Gavin, you said earlier on, we should have scored 4 or 5, and it's those sort of against that sort of side where you expect it to be better. I've got a couple of slides on the transfer window in and out. So what we've seen come in, just a recap on all of that. So as you can see, this is excluding loans. I've got it on another slide, but you've effectively got obviously 12 players that we've come in, of which I think it's 7 that we've got that have come in as free transfers. But you can see the estimated, obviously we don't know the full details of the transfer fees, but a total spend of around 2.2 million coming in there. And then going into the loan deals, obviously we got Alex Mitchell just before as we brought in, equally Talai on that. And we've got then Law McCabe, obviously, and Owen Dale, we've just spoken about. The outgoings from an Argyle point of view, it put a load of extra in here, but effectively Callum Wright, as we know, to Wigan, Ogbeta to Barnsley, and Beidou were all done pre-kickoff season. And then Freddie Azaka, as we've discussed, who went on loan to Bristol Rovers as of Monday.
Beidou scored another goal the other night.
Who did?
Decent finish, Beidou.
Yeah, I didn't see the clip, but yeah, I did hear about it.
Yeah.
So, but look, it just didn't work for him down here, did it? In any way, shape, or form. So
it might. Yeah, he's still got another 2 years in his contract.
Technically, yeah.
he might go on an absolute goal scoring frenzy, and we call him back.
Yeah.
So obviously the players going out, as we know, 12 as well, going out and assumed, and Gav and I were speaking as we were building this deck, you could probably add maybe a 200 odd K for Beidou's loan deal fee as well to add on to that. So, yeah, I mean, I'll go from right to left. So I'll start with Andy. You said you felt it wasn't a bad, obviously, transfer window. Yeah, of course, it could be worse if than that, but it's still not great for me. But you're sort of, I know you're not really happy with it, but you're content, are you?
Yeah, I'm content with it. We've got to be dealing with the players that or the cards we've been dealt. We can't help that. Cleverly's got to do his best as a manager to get these players motivated. There's another one you've missed off on the ones going out is Freddie Osaka, of course. But
He was there.
Osaka, is he there?
Yeah, he was there.
Yeah.
On the transfer window business out, 12?
Yeah.
Oh, he's there. I just can't see him. Oh, okay.
Outgoings.
At the bottom. Freddie Saka, Loan Club, Bristol Rovers.
Yeah, on the next slide it's not there. Okay, never mind.
No, it's not. The loans are separate.
Right. Okay, sorry. Yeah, I'll shut up.
all that.
It's been a long day. Yeah, so I lost my train of thought there.
Anyway, Carl, what's your views on the loan deal? What Andy needs to go and take his tablets.
Yeah. Keep me awake.
Go on, Carl.
About Osaka?
Yeah, no, just no on the right, ladies and gentlemen. I do apologise for the quality of the show tonight, including myself. But yeah, Carl.
Regarding the outgoings, yeah.
Carl and Andy need to go out and take some fresh air and then come back. And right, Andy, do you feel comfortable for me to go back to you?
Yeah, I'm content with the window. You can only sort of deal with what you've been dealt. Cleverly's got to get the best out of these players, and I think he will. We've got a little bit more experience in there, bringing Dale in, and we haven't seen 2 or 3 of our players yet. When 2 of the 3 players we signed early on in the season, we haven't seen yet because they've been injured. We still haven't seen Pleggy playing regularly. So those players are going to come back in, and Cleverly's going to have to deal with what he's got. And so there's no good sort of moaning about how bad the window was. We just some teams didn't get any players in, so just got to deal with it.
Yeah, I mean, in the league, actually, Andy, I forgot to add it in. I did some prep at lunch, but forgot to include that one. But yeah, Argo obviously sit up there against everybody in the league in terms of spending. Again, whether the top 6 budget comparison we'll never necessarily know. But Carl, I think you can let it, and I say this many times, even on the show, you can let things get to you and wind yourself up all the time. And, what, in the nicest way, what shit way to lead your life if you just, all you want to do is find the negatives. But it is frustrating. It's not ideal. Could we have done better? Well, absolutely. You could say that about anything. And I'm sure the club, I know David Fox is on Argyle Breakfast on Saturday. So, for those that can tune into that, I think that's streamed on YouTube anyway. I can't remember, but
I believe so.
Sorry?
I believe it is, yeah.
Yeah. So, we might hear, they've asked for questions. We might hear some stuff from him there. But equally, Carl, Tom's comments that I alluded to earlier, where he said he wants to review that process and wants to start that next week, is interesting that, maybe he feels he could bring more to that and offer some suggestions, to improve it.
I think most clubs probably have internal discussions after transfer windows anyway. But yeah, I think obviously a lot of the players came in before he turned up here. Obviously, we've signed quite a few under when Music was here, so we couldn't have changed that. That's what happened. Circumstances changed, and obviously we had to look for a new head coach. Obviously, a lot of the ones we brought in are long-term projects. I think we've seen snippets from the ones we have brought in, people like Ibrahim and Watts. I think we can mould them into good players.
Yeah.
And if Cleverly can work his magic and, work with them to make them better players, which he wants to do. Obviously, from his academy days at Watford, that should be ingrained in him to improve players. It would have been nice to have a few more experienced players in the squad. And like Herbie said, I still think we're still lacking another striker. I think if Tolai gets injured, which I hope to God he doesn't, I think we're going to be really, really weak up top. So yeah, I think our defence looks a lot stronger. I think obviously Pleggy when he gets back fit later on in the season, Ross seems like he's a decent signing. Obviously Mitchell's improved us massively at the back.
Yeah. And deserved rest as well.
And deserves rest. I don't know if that means he's going to play any minutes on Saturday. I think it might be a bit much starting him again.
I think that's why he was left out on Tuesday, to be honest.
Yeah, personally, I would stick him in. He's got to get match fitness. And the only way he's going to get match fitness is playing games. So I'll just keep on with that, even if it's 60 minutes, and then take him off and change tactics. But yeah, I think overall, I think 5 out of 10, 6 out of 10 for the summer. I think a few more wouldn't have gone amiss, especially the older players. But I think, yeah, it is what it is, and I'm sure January will be a lot more focused on what Tom wants.
Yeah, assuming that all is good in the house. I mean, Gavin, sort of, and just Graham Byrne saying Ryan Broom still looks decent. I thought, yeah, he didn't have a bad game. In fairness, GT saying it's almost the weekend. Thankfully, well, I've got a work to do tomorrow night, and then we've got this Saturday night. So if I'm a bit like that, you know why. But yeah, Gavin, your views on the window, and even Cleverly's comments that I alluded to.
So the review always happens very shortly after the window, so there's no change there to my knowledge. They'll always do a wash up because they'll want to review quickly because they're now planning for January, which is good. I don't think you can properly mark the window until we've seen a couple of key signings that have barely kicked the ball yet. I think Mackenzie being the biggest question mark, because if Ross has barely kicked the ball, we haven't seen Dale yet, we haven't seen Law McCabe yet, we haven't seen Mackenzie really kick a ball yet. But they're 4 key players. My strongest side, excluding Amici and Pleggy, because they're both long-termers. So for moving forward is Hazard when he's back, Such, Mitchell, Ross and Mackenzie in the back 4, Boateng and McCabe in the midfield, Patterson, Dale, Mumba and Talai. Now for me, if that's a team that's firing, I think you'd probably say the window was pretty good, because it means then that Aseni, Peppel, Watts aren't getting a game, but they're being developed, which is what we bought them for. I think the challenge is we've bought some good players, not necessarily under TC's watch. Through injury, they've not kicked the ball for us yet. And then we've signed some late players who haven't kicked the ball for us yet. So as it stands today, it's probably a 5.75, 6 out of 10. If that team gets fit and starts firing, I think that's a top 6, top 8 side. Then you could say it could go up to sort of 7 or an 8. I agree with some. I think we probably still need one very good sort of marquee next to Talai or a reserve to fight from Talai's place. Striker, if you look when we went up, we had 4 really good strikers who had different things to them. I would have still signed Mohamed Tijani. I think he would have done a really good job for us in this league, and I think he would have, if we'd offered him a deal, he probably would have stayed, because that's the Cosgrove sort of thing that we're missing, that sort of big lump, although Peppel holds it up well. So I, at the moment, I would say yes. I am very, very content if I think that the potential of the players that we've not seen kick a ball yet do what I think they're going to.
Yeah, no, that's fair. I think it is one of those where you've got to. So Cleverly also said the other day, didn't he, that there's been Saturday, Tuesday. We know that in this league because of these cups. So there also hasn't been that sort of time on the training pitch, as they say. And yeah, keep forgetting about Hazard as well. Thanks, Gavin. Obviously coming back. Mackenzie also spoke really well in the pre-match interview, and you could just see it in him. It wasn't just talk. He's keen to get out there, wasn't he, Gavin? Help the lads. You could see that from him. Really good. And when he got the call up that Argyle are interested, he was quite keen to get the deal done. So location an issue at times and not at times. I suppose it depends what position you're in as a player with deals, but yeah, I think we've said the last couple of shows now, haven't we, that we want to sort of by the end of October, see then hopefully the gelling and the sort of style that will hopefully come good. If not, then we've got problems. But I think I think hopefully with those players coming back, those 2 new signings, as Gavin said, then you're right. Probably at that stage, and we should sort of give an assessment on the window now. But the striker up front to partner or to back up Talai was a worry for me, and something I was hoping we'd do something on, because as we know, when Hardy got injured, it really caused us issues up there. So Herbie, how are you scoring and viewing that window? I think Gavin makes a fair point. You have to give it a bit of weight, but how do you feel as it stands?
Yeah, I wouldn't say I'm happy with it, but like probably content. I don't want to moan. I don't want to be negative. It's not. I don't get any joy out of it. But just it seems like the timing of the signings was also really crap. The fact we went through the first 4 games of the season without a number 9, without a statement signing number 9, and lost 4 games of the season, and that's why it was so much more difficult to get signings then, because realistically, you don't want to be playing for Plymouth Argyle if they're bottom of League One, and also it's a pain in the ass to get to. It's so far away. So it was almost we shot ourselves in the foot by not doing it straight away. If we got these statement signings straight away, I think we probably could have got some really good players. But the fact if we did it straight away, we were a team that people wanted to go to, weren't we? We were a promotion-looking side. We've just come down from the Championship. We've got enough money. We're a team that looks like they want to go up. You want to play for Argyle because chances are the next season you're going to be playing Championship football. Now they've seen us in the first 4 or 5 games. That isn't the case, and that is probably putting off some people going to us. Like players have gone to Wigan instead. Players have gone to I can't remember, some other clubs in League One that have looked sharper, looked better, and then they've obviously wanted to go there more than us. So, I mean, we've done really well to get to live off Port Vale. He's a great striker. And I do think time will tell, and he'll probably be key for us. But if he gets injured, it's a real problem. And we've got 2 strikers that probably aren't league level or can get 15 to 20 goals a season.
I think so. Just sort of breaking that down, I think again, because I have to bring this point up because none of us know, so it's impossible to sort of say, well, we didn't do it early enough. I think we were trying, and we just weren't getting those deals done. I think even I recall mentioning that Luton, I forget the player, just on the Friday night start of the season game, they signed a player and announced him right on kickoff, and you're thinking a club who's all right, come down from the Premiership with a bump, but has got money, so should be no issues. No disrespect to Luton, but in the area, around it, it's quite a decent place to get to some nice places. And yet, even they struggled to find that number 9. So, and also if we look at
they've
Ruman
just signed Al
Burrell,
Hamadi as well from
and also Ruman Burrell, just going, when he played in that QPR game, didn't really do much. Dale Taylor, when he played against us, when we got that win against Blackpool, wasn't really effective. So we don't know. We can only assume that we tried to get those from what was put out there. But I think this is the difficulty, is I think they were going for players, and I think there were clubs and agents that were just waiting and trying to do the deal. Unless David Fox comes out and says anything to the contrary to that, I can't imagine he is going to really shed too much light. But I think that's part of it where it is hard to tell. So I don't think any club would sensibly, deliberately try and not sign a striker, knowing how important the position is. But yeah, I get the feeling. And 12 players in, 12 players out. As Tom said in his interview with Warnock, it was a complete change. And also, you've got the situation where he alluded to the fact that although he wasn't involved in those signings early on, he said there are some project development players that Argyle have signed. So it's also fair to say that we shouldn't put the pressure on the likes of Pepper or Senni, Watts even, although he started really well, and the likes, because some of those were classed as maybe those development players. So
it'll even itself out. I think the sales mix, to take Herb's point, is too weighted towards projects and not players for today. And I think Tom alluded to that as well. I don't think anyone at the club would battle you with pistols at dawn saying that's not right, because it's obvious. I think having a player on Saturday, the oldest player being 25, just shows we've clearly gone over the top of, well, we're a selling club, therefore we're going to buy them young, buy them cheap, develop them, sell them high. That's all well and good, but you still need quality on the pitch. You still need experience on the pitch. With the injuries we've had, that's been the challenge. I think if Mackenzie had been fit day one, be a very different story. If we had our experienced players playing better and a bit, we'd be in a different place. But we're not. I think we've over-egged the pudding on the prospects. We haven't brought in for now. Dale Taylor's done a bit, I think, for that. And if we bring Mackenzie back, and we've now got Ross, who I think is reasonably experienced for the level, Mitchell's been a great signing. It looks much better. So I think most football fans look in like 7-day windows of their opinion of the world. If you look on X, you'll see if we win a game, we're going to go up to the Champions League. If we lose a game, we're going to play in the conference in 6 weeks' time. You've got to look over a period really of 8, 10, 12 games, and you've got to get all your players reasonably fit, the better ones, to have an opinion on what can go on and what hasn't gone on. So I've got a bit more of a longer sort of parachutey view than a truffle hunting view, to coin a phrase. But I think that what they have missed out on is having more depth of those 28 to 32-year-olds that have got experience in the division, which other people have picked up.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And Harold's in tonight, Evening Harold, Evening Greens, I think, to lie.
Evening Herald, was that one?
Harold, I said, not Herald. I think Talai's second versus Cheltenham was great, but the biggest plus for me was how confident Ross looked, considering how long he's been out. There wasn't too much for him to do, to be fair, but he did his job, and as Gavin said, he was communicating as well, which was good. Be interesting to see if he does get in the starting lineup on Saturday. So that's I see what you're saying now, Carl. That's how tired I am.
Come on, keep up, for Christ's sake.
The Evening Herald, yeah, Jesus. Speaking of which, and that's a good segue. Thank you, Carl, for doing that. This wasn't deliberate, folks. I spoke to Chris Errington on Tuesday night again and discussed with him about coming on the pod, which next Thursday we should be able to arrange that. It's always good to get some people that have lived and breathed Argyle longer than a lot of people and having to pit up with going to every game as well to report on it. Even though he's a Palace fan, we can forgive him for that, obviously. So yes, hopefully we'll get Chris Errington on to join us for some chat. So let me go back to the slide deck. But God, yeah, remember the guy in town? Air out! Well, better not wake the kids.
Step though for a minute.
Yeah, I'll skip that slide. I've got to remember, got kids upstairs. That's the player ratings from the game on Tuesday, so I'll just read them out quickly for those listening back. Hammond, 6.9, not much to do. Sorinola, 8.6, he did have a good game. Wadu also had a good game, 7.9. 7.4 to Ross, 7.2 to Edwards, also good. Ibrahim, 7.4, so even with the thoughts that I gave on it, still scoring high there. Boateng, 7.6, consistent as Mr. Consistent this season so far. Hatch 7.4, Aseni 7.1, Mumba 7.4, and Talai 8.9. So, and we had Benarus, Roberts, Finn, and Peppel come on. And of course, yes, Peppel missed that penalty, but it didn't affect the result.
Before you go on, did Ibrahim get booked or not?
No.
He didn't? Wow.
Yep.
Nice.
So there we go. Sooks obviously came on as well. Forgot to mention that one. So Cleverley's press conference, obviously we've already discussed it. He picked up on the point on the abuse this week to Bim Peppel, but he said Bim is in good spirits despite what he has been through. The club doesn't tolerate such issues and provides a strong support network running around him during this unacceptable situation. On the transfer window, alluded to it, but he said the transfer window was challenging with a huge player turnover. A full internal review will take place next week. Deadline day was positive, bringing in Owen and Law. The focus is on player profile and proven ability at this level. On the Stockport match, he said many Stockport players are proven at this level with good ages. They're up there in that sort of, is it 5th or 6th mark around there, making them a significant test. However, if we can execute our processes effectively, it will be equally challenging for Stockport. On team news, Xavi's surgery obviously... Xavi is out. Obviously, as we know, his surgery was successful. He's expected out for 4 months. Jack McKenzie, Connor Hazard are nearing a return to training, 7 to 10 days, give or take. Jamie Patterson is back and available for Saturday, and adding organisation to the team and that experience that we've talked about. Which brings in that leadership with it. On Talai, Tom Cleverley praised Talai's fantastic performance, highlighting his proven scoring ability and calm finishing. These goals are just the beginning of many for the club. So that's the presser. We also have added in Barley Mumba's post-match press conference interview. And of course, if he plays or starts whenever he does in his next game, that will be his 150th game for Mumba. That seems crazy now to look back on that. But his comments on first team status, favourite moments, I've just found out now. He said, I knew I was somewhere close. That's big. Always be my goal to be known as a first team player. He did have one of the high minutes naturally as well last season played. There's been a lot of good... Sorry, go on, Andy.
No, sorry. Just clearing my throat.
Oh, that's all right. Did you just take your tablets, yeah? The main thing was getting promoted. You saw how much it meant for everyone. My favourite goal has to be Exeter. Was my first derby as well to get that goal. That's one to remember. On supporting teammates, he said it's disappointing when it first happened to Waidu. I was shocked. Now it's happened again. It's good that the club have brought the action and there will be action. Bim has got support from the dressing room. No matter whether it's done behind screens or in person, it's unacceptable. We'll never settle for it, and it will never be all right. Absolutely. And on goal scoring pressure, he said, sometimes I need not to put pressure on myself, saying I need to score. The next few games, it's interesting, that comment. I'll come to the panel in a minute. It needs to be about enjoying the game, and naturally I will find myself in the right positions. I mean, Carl, while Andy swallows his tablets properly, I think with Mumba's comments, sorry Andy, there, you can sometimes see in games, he feels like there's an element of responsibility. As we know, then he's coming up to his 150th appearance for Argyle. So he's a senior green. He'll see that as being one of those players that has to lead by example. And yeah, I think there's a number of players that have probably tried to do too much, which hasn't helped the situation, has it?
No, I think he's trying too hard to get a goal. It's been a while since he scored. Yeah, I think once he gets his first one, hopefully we'll start seeing a more confident Barley, and he gets a few more on the score sheet. Because we know what he can do at this level. Under Shuey at this level, he was absolutely brilliant and scored some really, really good goals for us. I think it's coming. Obviously, he's missed a few sitters, especially a couple of one-on-ones, especially against Blackpool. He should have scored as well. I think it's coming. I'm still not 100% sure if I like him in the front three. I still think he's a left wing back, but I'm not overly sure Cleverley wants to go down that route. I know he said he's going to be adaptable and potentially could go with that system. Because I think Chris asked that question in the press conference about formations and wing backs and stuff. So we might still see him yet revert back to a left wing back. I'm still not 100% sure he's ideal on that front left. But yeah, I think a goal's coming. Hopefully on Saturday, and they can shut up asking him about when his first goal's coming in.
Well, Gavin, he is down as your goal scorer, isn't he? For
Every
Saturday?
game he's down as Mumba.
Every game. It will come. It's definitely going to come.
Law of averages. But
I might be like the proverbial clock right twice a day, but you can just see it. He's getting in the right spaces. I actually thought he broke his duck against Blackpool, and then good save, and then he's blasted it wide. But yeah.
I think that's the other point as well, isn't it, Gav? Is that, again, it goes back to this, that yes, he's one of the more experienced players and, and all that sort of stuff. But clearly from his comment, the mental side of it, he's got to also calm down. And I think if we can just see generally a good... Because Blackpool was a bit scrappy in places. It was a great start. And then obviously we started a little bit after that chance, but luckily got the goal and the win. But yeah, if we can just have a good all-round sort of performance, then players will feel more relaxed. And if they get the chance to get in a good position to shoot, they won't feel like this could be key to getting the points or losing the game.
Yeah. It's when you're on form, you play an instinct, don't you? And you find yourself in the right place at the right time. When you're fighting for form, you push it too hard and you get into places that you wouldn't normally be, trying to be the difference. And Bally's mindset very much is give me the ball, I'll show you. And I think when the team plays well, he gets the ball in the right areas, he crosses earlier, he cuts inside less, but when he does, he makes it impactful. He has a bit of Whittaker-itis, I think, when we're struggling, where he's always trying to cut inside, he's always trying to get the shot away. And then he runs along the box for 20 metres unchallenged and then lays a pass off and it breaks the momentum down. So I think, like anyone, when you're in a winning team, things happen naturally, things happen out of instinct. When you're in a losing team, everyone tries to force it, and that unfortunately exacerbates the situation.
Yeah, no, it does. So obviously it's Stockport County on Saturday. Before I go to that, Gavin, are you ready for your video? Should we go to that now?
After my preview, please.
Oh, sorry. Yes, you're right. Yeah, sorry. We got that after we spin through this. So obviously, thank you for reminding me. Game on Saturday, obviously 3:00 kickoff. Match officials are Neil Hare, Harley Hetherington, Samuel Fudge, with the fourth official being Jacob.
Well, I nearly read that as Jacob Rees-Mogg for a minute.
Yeah, well, that's exactly what I said to Gavin as we were typing it out. Jacob Rees-Miles, thankfully. No, Jacob Rees-Mogg is not trying to do another documentary. Predicted lineups and actually formations is your piece first, Gavin. So over to you.
So interesting, the first time we played this year against back three. So Stockport played quite congested in midfield. So 3-4-2-1. So their wing backs are totally bomb forward and overlap the wide players, but they seem to overlap quite late from the video footage I've seen, which is quite interesting. But they'll really want to try and dominate the centre of the pitch in midfield like we have. So that's something else just to consider when you're watching on Saturday. So the lineup I've gone for Saturday is Ashby Hammond in goal, Benarous at left back, Mitchell and Ross in the centre half positions, leaving out Werdy, although he had a really good game, I thought, actually, on Tuesday night. Such at left back, not Edwards. I thought Such was good when he came on. Midfield, this is quite controversial. Boateng's obviously nailed on, probably first name on the team sheet, but I've gone Caleb Roberts on the left. I think Ibrahim gives the ball away too much. He does a lot of good, but he gives the ball away a ton in that final third, which breaks down momentum a lot of our attacking play. I've thrown Pato straight back in to the 10 spot. Hopefully you can get 60 minutes out of him. I thought his game against QPR was class, and the slide balls that he was producing for our front players at the time, which was obviously without Talai, was really, really good. With Talai, I think he'll feed him and he'll certainly notch up. I've chucked Dale straight in at wide right, and I've kept Bally at wide left. So a lot more experience if you look at that front four now of Mumba, Patterson, Dale and Talai. There's a lot of experience there where we didn't have that 2 or 3 weeks ago. Whether that will be the starting lineup, I don't know, but I think that will look to be the starting lineup moving forward. So hopefully they can get them 60 minutes. And I thought Roberts was class when he came on. I think he was criticised by Tom about not passing forward and getting key passes. I looked out for that, and I thought he did a lot of that on Tuesday night. I know the opposition was a lot weaker than we're going to face, but he can only play the opposition in front of him. So that's what I've gone for.
Yeah, no, I mean, Herbie, what's your thoughts? I don't disagree with it. I know, I mean, Waidu did have a great game. So, it's a difficult one, though. I think I can't disagree completely with Roberts, because I thought he also has a bit of aggression in him as well. So I thought he did well on Tuesday night. What are your thoughts on that lineup?
Yeah, I don't disagree with Roberts at all as well. I probably actually would start him given the opportunity to start. I've always felt with Roberts, the only games he's really started in was in the Championship, and it was games we knew we weren't going to win or didn't think we were going to win. We played it. We started him against Leeds away, and he sort of held his own. Brentford, obviously, he had a great game, but to give him an opportunity like this and think, right, this is a proper game where I can create a match-winning moment, or I can create something going forward and play that ball, or make that last-ditch tackle. That'll probably be good for him. The only thing I probably would change, I'd put Watts in for Patterson, only because Watts, I think, has probably been one of our best players this season, just like consistently, just like winning fouls in midfield, breaking down the play. If there's 2 or 3 men on him, he doesn't panic. He just releases the ball or wins the foul. I think creatively, he's also very good as well. But I'm not against Patterson playing. if you want to bring Watts on in the 60th minute and have half an hour against tired legs, then yeah, that also works as well.
I think, sort of, Andy, your thoughts on it. I think the Patterson thing, and why I agree with Gavin on it, is because when we've seen him come on, when he's linked up with Ben Arous, and it was Hatch in that QPR game. I know it was another young squad they were playing against, but they played superb in that game compared to the Cheltenham game, a younger squad with less quality, where we didn't play so well overall. I think Patterson, that experience, with Owen Dale, with Patterson, as Gavin said, Mumba, and then Talai up there, that could be interesting. And Stockport, Andy, are going to come at us. I mean, they've started off well, so they're not going to sit back. And every team know if they can just breach us, and score, there's that risk of our confidence getting knocked. And going on to get more. So this could be an interesting game on Saturday.
It's going to be a tough one. Absolutely. When you think of that forward that they've got is the guy they got from Stoke, wasn't it?
Nathan Lowe. Nathan Lowe.
Yeah, Nathan Lowe. Him as well, yeah. Nathan Lowe. I'm a bit tired tonight, guys. You can guess that, can't you? Nathan Lowe's going to be coming at us, and they'll be trying to feed him all they can. So I'd almost have someone like Watson there rather than Patterson for maybe the first half or the first half an hour at least, and then have Patterson coming on.
I think that's why you might have Patterson actually start, because of just dealing with that threat and the pressure situation, maybe.
Yeah, possible. Just thinking age-wise, would he be able to keep up with him? I don't know. He might be able to, or be all right. The only other change I would make would having Mumba out there and having the new guy in from Middlesbrough. Get him in there on the left.
Yeah, he can't play Saturday though, can he?
Can he not play?
No, he's away at the England squad, isn't he?
Right. Well, in that case, then leave Mumba where he is. Then. I was going to go back to what Carl said earlier on about Mumba, just touching on him a little bit. I'm not picking on him again. It's the fact that he does, he tries too hard to score, but I think in all of it, he just tries too hard, full stop. Just keep it simple. And then I
think though, Andy, it's comments though, because I've seen that. I think we've all can see that in him. I think his comment is telling, and actually then it is one of those where not just he needs to say it to himself, but even cleverly Nance or whatever need to say that again and remind him when he goes out. Look, don't panic, don't try and sort of think that you've got to score or help the squad get out of it. Just try and play the game that that you can play really well, and then it will come. So
it's very much so. It is the mental thing, and you've got to have that confidence. But I just think all our players need to look at themselves and just play it simple, keep it simple, because we're just trying too hard as a team. We're trying too hard. We're giving the ball away too many times.
There's nearly 700 games of EFL League One and above experience in that front four. I've just worked it out on football.
Yeah, awesome.
I think the reason why Mumba tries to do too much, as you say, is because this team that he's with is completely new to him. He's used to playing with Hardy, as Whittaker, he's played with them for ages. So he's thinking, well, now it's just me. He feels like he has to do it by himself. And also as an attacker, I feel like there's always two types of attackers. There's either one who scores the goals or one that creates them. And I think he definitely is the one that needs to create them. And he's obviously doing too much in that regard, thinking, I've got to do both now because I don't know what Talai's like. I've never really played with him. So I've got to almost create my own chances and then score them, and it's causing him to do too much, and he's in his head. But as we see in the presser, he said he just wants to enjoy the game now, so he's probably a bit more level-headed for Saturday. And that's probably why you've predicted him to score, Gav.
Spot on, Herbie.
Yeah, I think just conscious because Gavin's got some videos up in a second as well, a little tactic motions. I think just to close it and bring you, Gavin, into this slide, with Mumba. Also, don't forget there was a lot of talk about him potentially going, and that could have also unsettled his rhythm at the start of the season as well. So it's all these things, but let's just hope Gavin is right, and then Barley Mumba can go and get us a goal on Saturday. So back to you, Gavin.
So just very quickly, Stockport, as I mentioned, play different formation we've played this year. So it's 3-4-2-1, quite narrow. Overlaps on, so they try and bomb quite late with their fullbacks. I've only seen 3-minute highlight clips, but they seem to go down the flanks pretty late. Where they seem to be quite weak is in transition. So they don't have a really high press from what I've seen. They have kind of a mid press or block or whatever the hell you want to call it. When they do bomb on and they get caught, I think if we can get the ball in transition, and there'll be a video on that in a minute, and bomb forward quickly like we used to with Miron, I think that would where we'll hurt them, which is one of the reasons why I picked Pato in the side, because on that quick transition he's got the ability to slide a ball through and unlock that sort of defence when they're sort of stretched, if you like. So yeah, that's where it sits. That's a summary of that slide. They're going to congest the midfield and battle hard there. They're going to want to go late down the flank with overlapping fullbacks because they play 4 in midfield and 3 at the back. And they've got a good strike force up front and sort of their danger player in a bit. So yeah, that's that. There he is, just by magic. Cole Wooten's he's their best rated football player this season at 7.58, but he's got 3 assists. He's had 8 shots at goal, an XG of under where he scored of 2 goals of 1.38. But they seem to do this diagonal ball thing, so they'll a bit like what we've done when we had Amici. He was finding Bally on the other flank. They do that, so they try and congest, play through, and then ping a diag ball to break up the space. So we're both going to have similar tactics there, I think. And I thought he stood out because he does that quite a bit. So we want to watch and to close down, I would say. And I've put Dale in as our player to watch, because it's his debut, B, a bit of experience, and it sounds like he's going to start. Do you want to stick those videos up now?
Yeah, so as soon as I click and it goes to it, it will start to play.
Just
Gav.
make
So
sure you
just tell me if
select
you
the
want
right
to pause.
ones, Mike, for Christ's sake.
Say again?
Okay.
Make sure you select the right ones.
Yeah, not
what
those
do you
other
want
niche videos I sent you.
Don't want to filth on you.
And just before I go to it, just for those that are listening, Ollie Hubbard put in the comments just earlier, I'd like to see Carl in centre midfield with the crazy pilgrim, and Carl rightly pointed out, no you wouldn't, Ollie, stuff of nightmares, and it would be like seeing Forshaw back in midfield. Of course it would. So right, I'm going to go to that video now.
I don't know which one this is. So this is us basically winning the ball back in our own half and transitioning. So overlap of the midfield player. So Mumba Benarus overlapping Mumba, and then getting an early cross into the box, which is I think should be playing football. And then
do you want to see that one again?
Yeah, see that again. So basically, we pick the ball up in our own half. We go inside and then to out. So those triangles are everywhere, and I think we've all seen them so far this game. And then as the play holds up, Ballymumba drives forward. Eamon Benarus comes in on an overlap and gets an early cross in the box at pace for either one of the 10 or the 9 to come in and score. So what we haven't done this year is much of that, right? At all. We've done a lot of what's going to happen next. And if you remember from last year, and certainly my tactical analysis, that's what reminded me of this. My tactical analysis of this last year when we were talking about Miron, I remember watching footage of Bundu, Hardy, and Tajani sprinting for their lives into the box to the penalty spot to be expecting a ball on transition coming across from the wing. Right? Yeah. We haven't done that yet. And 1 second.
Yeah,
and the reason why we haven't done that, I think, is because we're playing inverted, which I don't think is working. So we've got a right-footed footballer playing on the left and a left-footed footballer playing on the right. So their natural strong foot, apart from Benarus, isn't naturally on near the touchline to swing it across. So they're having to cut back in on their strong foot, and that's what's slowing the play down, which is what this is. So it's a very similar play, if you want to play it through. Yeah. So Benarus again into Roberts and complete the triangle into Mumba, overlap by Benarus, and then he goes down the line but stops because he gets marked, and then plays the ball back inside, which allows all of their defence, it's quite cumbersome, but allows all of their defence to get back, and then we have to start again, and we go back to the goalkeeper at times, back to the centre halves, we go into midfield and try the other side, and then it is that whole game of defence v attack. I think the hardest thing to stop is a quick transition, which is where we scored some good goals last year, and we haven't done that on this occasion as much. And I think what I'd like to see, certainly with Talai being a really good in the box scorer with a very good technical ability, is to get it in there. And I put it on Twitter in the week actually. The more you put the balls in that area, the luckier you become because you're doing it a lot, and you've actually then got some really good opportunities to score goals. But what we seem to be doing is trying to play the perfect pass once we're trying to get past 7, 8, 9 defenders who have all realigned because they've bizzed it back. And because he's put his foot on the ball, looked up and then gone back inside, they're fully set then. And they've basically undone the transition by becoming really, really rigid in their 4-4-2 or 4-5-1 structure. So just a bit of nerdy tactics.
Yeah, it's good that.
But actually, it'd be really nice if we just went, you know what, get down the bloody line and get it across. And then if that ball goes in and the strikers aren't there, that's the striker's problem, not the guy on the left. And I think that's where I'd like to see it more on transition, especially away from home. But we don't seem to do it enough. We seem to get to the position where we can slide a ball in the box and we put our foot on it and go back inside, and then it gives them all the time in the world to reset.
Yeah, and I'm trying to remember if it was the first or second, but it was a quick transition that led to one of the goals on Tuesday night, wasn't it, if I recall correctly?
Yeah.
So, yeah, and as you alluded to there's a lot of that where you'd think the ball would come straight across and then we dawdled on it. But no, thank you, Gavin, for that. It's just a little bit of a taster of things that where we can and have the time to certainly for Gavin in that case to put that together. We'd love to bring you that Monday night style football digital thing. You never know, see what happens down the line, but Aaron Cusack and Argyle, let's eat your heart out. Sorry, Carl?
I think it was poor goalkeeping, went straight through his legs.
But he hit it hard, to be fair. So
which one? Talai's first one?
Yeah.
No, you're on your little graphic there. The ball just goes.
Yeah.
That's exactly what happened on Tuesday.
I can't zoom in and then show you the action because it cost me like 10 quid that app, not £100,000. So there we go.
So score prediction. Appreciate that. We are running an hour and 10 in now. So So I've gone 2-0 bravely. I will come on to that in a second, but we decided to go a 2-2 draw, putting the slide deck together. I think it's going to be an interesting game, and hopefully, at home again, can we get back to back, including the virtual one. Home wins would be good. Let's look at the predictions. This slide is really badly put together by Gamma, but Herbie's gone for a draw. Carl's gone for Argyle 3, Stockport 2, with Talai, Watson and Dale. Also, I think Steve put the comment, or someone did earlier, that Dale's can play with both feet, just as a point.
Yeah, he's on both flanks.
Thank you. Gavin's gone with a 1-1 draw, with Mumba, of course, being a scorer. Marcus has gone 3-2 to Argyle, the same as Carl, Talai, Mumba and Mitchell, interestingly there. Steve, 2-1 to Argyle, Dale and Talai. Emma, 1-0 to Argyle. Myself, 2-0, Talai getting both. Andy, 2-2. Finley, 2-2. And Harvey, 2-2 as well. So interesting mix there. It'll probably be a boring 0-0 draw. Let's wait and see. Also, the Argyle ladies won. Thanks for that, Carl. I think you put that in the chat. 5-1. That was a replay game with the player that got her leg broken in that nasty incident. So there's a little bit of an update there for you.
14 goals in 2 games. Crumbs. That's brilliant. They should teach our strikers to score goals.
What's that? 14 goals in
2 games.
2 games.
The Carl, just before I forget about it, we're coming close, aren't we, now to that season start for the Tammert and Foliot?
Yeah, they play their first league game on Saturday. Saturday morning is their first league game against, I'm trying to find it now, against Chadderwood. So, yeah.
Where's that being played for those that...
Tammerton home pitch, which is on Bond Street in Southway, just up the road from you.
Yeah,
the Flag pub.
Yeah, gotcha. Yeah. So I reckon, although there will be a late night the night before with the work due, I'll have a look, see with Sophie and that, maybe pop up. I'm guessing you'll be there.
I will be Saturday morning, yeah.
Yeah. So, cool.
What time's kick-off, Carl? Sorry.
Go on, Andy.
Say again?
What time's kick-off?
Oh, good point.
10 o'clock.
10 o'clock. I'll see if I can get onto that.
So
to the Hyde Park Social.
So for those that don't have or don't know, we have sponsored. I'm going to play the videotape reel that we videotape reel. Jesus, the VT that we put out. It's 40 seconds long, but it's a late night. Let's just run it anyway, so you can see what it looks like because it looks great. There you go.
That was,
Top work by the
That's
cameraman.
brought to us by Middle Finger Productions, wasn't it?
Saw Fun Productions. Oh dear. So I mean, Carl, how has the Tammert and Foliot's transfer window been?
Interesting. Lots of youth, no experience. Lots of new players, mate. Like in most DGM teams, people leave, people come, people go. Yeah, lots of change. Got some decent young lads in now, so hopefully an improvement this season.
It'll be well. Let's hope. Harvey England sent me a video of the game he was playing the other day with that horrendous downpour, and like they're the sort of moments where, as a goalie, you really don't want to be making too many saves.
Or just as a parent stood there in the rain. Yeah,
exactly. So Saturday could be hit and miss with the weather. We shall see. But yes. So look, I'm definitely ready for bed, and I know most of us are probably the same as well. Of course not Herbie, because he's so young, he's full of energy. But it's good. It's good to have you and your all Achille curtains back in to the pod. But yes,
not as good as Callum Wright's though.
We're just jealous. We're just jealous, folks. That's what it is.
And of course, Graham, I've now corrected about 20 minutes ago. I mirrored my camera so that you can see this fantastic hoodie. So there we go. Anyway, look, I'll just leave it as that. Thanks, Herbie, Gavin, Carl, and Andy. Let's see what happens on Saturday. Let's hope for some positive light at the end of this tunnel. And I mean, I'm looking forward to it. So on that note, thank you to everybody that's been in the chat with us tonight. It's been a busy week with the transfer window as well and Tuesday night game, but appreciate you all coming in as usual. And like I said, please spread the word, like, follow, subscribe, and all that jazz. But on that note,